All right, everybody, it's the
Ooh, ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da, see ya. Wake up and rise, open your eyes. It's breakfast with the Thomases, the ultimate prize. Mental Wellness Monday, work it out Wednesday, pay it forward Friday. We're seizing the day. Digital finance, harmony of love, serving food for what those two rising as the beat and it Eastern on P2GTV. Breakfast with the Thomases, come eat with me.
show.
Okay.
Everything in this mama in here ringing.
Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Welcome to Breakfast with the Thomases. I am one of your hosts, the Gold Banker, coming to you live on Grand Time. I'm here with two of the most lovely ladies I know. Miss Ruth, say Grand Rising to the peoples.
Well, y'all know Grand Rising. Good morning, my babies. Mwah.
Grand Rising, Grand Rising.
And we have the pleasure of being here with one of my dearest friends. Oh God, what has it been? 25 years?
Ah.
We've been kicking it for 25 years.
25 years. Plus. 25 plus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Say hello to the people. Say hello to the people. Let them know who you are.
Please.
Grand Rising, everybody. I'm Miss Minor.
Oh.
I'm Miss
Don't
Minor.
be asking. Oh.
Let me say this.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little nervous, but I'm here, as make y'all laugh right now. So, as I had a little color purple moment. Thank God I's here. So yes, I'm here.
That's right.
Yes.
Eyes here, honey. Eyes here. That's right.
She is here, and it's going to be great.
And look, I'm gonna tell y'all where I have come from with this, y'all. We had a bit of a conversation on a show. Sister Mina joined us for about a minute. She came in on the show, and it was from the stereo side, and the conversation was so. I mean, for me, because it was an experience. I did not work with these two. Okay, I did not go to work with them every day, so they were used to the culture, and I got to kind of be a fly on the wall, if you will. I got to be a bit of a fly on the wall, and with that, you're blacked out. Don't worry, keep coming.
Keep coming back.
Okay.
If you need to go out, back in, come on back in. It's all right. The platform will hold.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So as I was saying, I'm Miss Minor. We've been friends for 25 years plus, working in corrections. And
Minor,
Your
camera's off, baby. It's a black screen.
Uh,
You want to
it's
go
on
grab
on
it?
my. No, it's on.
We can't see you. It's a black screen.
Uh-oh.
I know, right?
It's coming back.
Don't worry, she'll be back. So
Yeah.
I want y'all to get a chance to really meet Miss Minor, because she came in for a bit of a show, and I was just sitting here like, wow, that's what y'all that work. Well, that and more, because
Can you hear me though?
we can definitely hear you, but we want to see
Okay.
you.
So I don't. It's on my end.
Let's get it.
It's
Let's
on
get
my.
it.
Well, anyway, third floor conversations. That's what we're talking about today, which was a conversation that required respect, open-mindedness, honesty, forgiveness, and we talked about many things and truth. You take away from what you need. You don't have to actually do what someone says, but you can take their opinions and you take out the necessary information that you need and you apply it to your life the way you see fit.
Amen.
Yeah, no, that was one of the
That's
cool.
what.
I mean, that was one of the
That
cool
was
things.
third floor. Yes.
That was really cool about being on the third floor. And it wasn't just the third floor conversation really came about because people were coming in and out of the space and they were just doing all kinds of weird stuff.
Mr. Thomas, you're off camera too.
Oh, I see. I see. Let me see if I can get that back. That I know that's my leg.
All
Every time my leg hits this thing, it does that thing. Can you
right.
guys hear me still?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to
Did I
get back
come
in.
back up? Did I come back up?
Not yet. I could, and it's interesting. So, am I going to be the only one on camera the whole time?
Let me see if I can get back in here. Hold tight. Hold tight.
All right. So, if we could let's continue the conversation though, because there's
Yeah.
folks out there that would like to know what a third floor conversation really is. Mr. Thomas.
So, yes.
Well, let me put it this way. First rule of thumb is before you got into the third conversation, there was a disclaimer. If you got thin skin, you can't be in this room.
All right now.
If you got
Absolutely.
thin skin, you can't be in the room because this is not we're not gonna pat you on the shoulder. We're not gonna burp you because you're not a baby. This is grown folks here, and if you decide to sit in this room and have this conversation, whatever comes up,
You
you
got
got,
to be
you
good.
got to deal with it. And sometimes a lot of the conversations came up with was with you just dealing with yourself.
Right.
You can't come to work with an attitude and drop it on everybody's lap and expect everyone to hold it for you. Or you go into the space of I'm not doing anything, or I'm responsible for doing everything. I'm going to complain about it.
Wow.
If you had to do it, you had to do it, because if you didn't get done, guess what? Somebody got hurt. So that was like the reality of the conversation. If you didn't step up to the plate for what you had done, even if the people around you were BSing, you held a line, and then you dealt with the conversation thereafter, and then people were brought into the room and like, this is what it is. We can't have this.
Mm-hmm.
This is not how it's going to work, because if you're going to be up here, you got to be part of the team, or you're not. And if usually, and Ms. Minor can tell you, if you weren't part of the team, you didn't last long either. You didn't last long up there because you couldn't stay up there.
Definitely couldn't stay.
Definitely couldn't stay because people all wanted to go home. People all wanted to go home.
Now, one
Safely.
thing about third floor control conversation was that we always acknowledge our people. We let you know that, okay, we are a team. Working
Right.
when you're working in a certain space, in a certain environment,
Mm-hmm.
we have to be in unity as a family, because we have to hold each other down.
Exactly.
And one thing one of my peers said to me was, I thank you. She said, I thank you, sunshine. She said, because I wouldn't have made it through all these years without y'all. We broke bread together.
Mm.
We
Mm.
prayed together. We talked to each other, kept each other in our right minds. Like, okay,
Exactly.
sometimes we go through things and we stress about them, not knowing that some things you don't have to stress because it'll work itself out, but we don't know that yet.
Right.
So the main thing was to be kind to one another, because you never know what one is going through.
That's right.
Not to be judgmental, just open minded. And sometimes people didn't need an opinion, or they didn't want your advice. They just needed a listening ear so that they can release it. So that was third floor conversations. We talked about whatever you needed to talk about, and we tried to give you the best advice, and then you take it, and now you use it to the best of your ability, and you apply it to you the way you need to.
It sounds like they're going to miss you at that job because you guys are both retired, and this is, I don't know. I don't. Do you have you heard about it moving forward with the next generation of folks that are still there? They still having those. Who was the team or the crew for the third who that really managed the third floor, conversations type situation?
Well, I have to say, third floor was okay. That was my actual post to
Okay.
work. So third floor was my post, and that was created between me,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Thomas,
Mm-hmm.
and now there's another and D Thomas. That's another person
Mm-hmm.
with the name Thomas, and whoever came in with us three, really. they
Right.
joined the conversation and they got some advice, some good advice. They got good advice, and then you take from it. And the other D Thomas,
Right.
very optimistic. She's very optimistic. Okay,
Mm,
she always saw a light at the end of the tunnel. So it's nothing you could say or go through that she would be like, no,
mm.
no. And she would find another way and say, and you'd be like, you so optimistic.
Yes. Yes. That's a,
Very optimistic about everything. And it makes you think twice.
Yeah, without a doubt. She
you
didn't have
meet with people, especially in that type of work. I'm gonna be really honest. It's sounding to me, I'm on the outside, just sounding like that's this type of conversation is the kind of what they call the water filter, water cooler conversations that need to happen at more places to help folks cope in this working environment. You guys are in a high level. Y'all were in a high levels, high stress, high danger situation, and to be doing that every day, going in every day, knowing that anything could pop off and your life is in danger or a fellow coworker's life can be in danger.
Wow.
Having to deal with that and be able to function between home and work with the long hours. Come on now.
I'm going to tell you the honest truth for me.
Mhm.
This right here, this got me through.
That's what's up.
Um, Praying before you go in and praying when you come out,
Mm.
and just being kind to one another, lending a helping hand, you
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
just having each other's backs. Each one teach one. And as you say, when you know better, you do better. So,
without a doubt.
Yes. Yes.
mm, but I have to say, I know without a doubt, God brought me through all that I went through.
See, that's one of the things I want to share with the folks. You have to have, I don't care what your center, who your center is, who you believe in, who your creator is, or what the moving power in your life is, or nothing at all, if it's just you. You have to live your life with purpose because life in itself will have you questioning why you are here. It will, and I'm just coming from a human state of being. Um, we are one of y'all. All of us are one of y'all. We all grew up, and that's why I said when I heard about you guys talking about this, and I was like, wow, I'm just listening in because all of those years I've been the wife at home. I'm not the one in the conversation. So my husband would go to this environment every day, and sometimes for like a week on end, he wouldn't come home. And all I could do at the very beginning, being the wife of someone who worked in law enforcement and away from home, was nerve wracking, very nerve wracking. I remember being extremely afraid and I had to stop watching television shows about, in prison and stuff like that, y'all, because my mind would run. And I had to find a space of prayer just to be able to cope and be at home with my babies and be able to know. So, I mean, Hilda, hearing you go, I pray when I get there. I pray when I go in. I pray when I leave. I totally get that.
Absolutely.
I was praying for
Absolutely.
all y'all.
When you walk in and you walking in with a smile, you
Yeah,
sometimes you in pain, but you walking in anyway.
that's
Because
right.
as they say, you have to keep moving. That's the
Yes,
goal.
yes.
Keep moving. So when you walking in with a smile and everybody is so disgruntled and tired and they're saying, what are you smiling about? You don't understand. Like, listen, I don't pray. So, well, I have to pray before I come into the devil's playground. I have to definitely pray before I walk in here. And I walk out with that same smile, sometimes tired, sometimes, most of the time in pain. But, you
Hmm.
know, you
Yeah,
pray. That's your foundation is to pray and give it to God first. And you let go and let God when you walk in there. And then from there, you never know how your day gonna turn out. Sometimes you might come in there and you don't know, okay, how I'm gonna eat or whatever. Everybody looked out for everybody. We broke bread. Okay, you don't got no food, we got you. You know, you don't have money today. All right, I got you. We
yeah,
just have to have each other's back and make sure that we take care of one another because it's not easy. Like I said, there were conversations,
mhm.
financial conversations,
What you really
um,
need to do.
yes,
Uh-huh.
financial conversations, relationship conversations. Especially, it's hard when you're working those long hours, you're not home, you're away from your family,
Mm-hmm.
everybody mind can get the and stuff like that. So now how do you cope with that? Because that place and your coworkers and your peers became your second family.
That's right. So look, speaking of second family, the other thing I had to learn about is the work wife. And the work I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if anybody was my husband's work wife or work husband situation, it was Miss Minor. And let me explain something to you. That's not a negative connotation. There's a such thing as a person that's got your back at work. That's not like the person that has your back in the world at home.
Yes,
Um,
indeed. Yes, indeed.
and it doesn't, and it's not nasty. It's not meant to be handled, it's not to be taken in a negative or sexual way. It is a very much spiritual brother and sister relationship that I got your back. And there are times, what happens is we get this whole, I think we get the TV romanticized version of that, and it's completely, it's just completely
It's a
distorted.
farce on TV. It's a farce.
It really is. But the situation is who, I want to ask some of these folks that got these jobs. I know some of y'all are heading out to work now. Who's your work wife? Who's your work husband? Who do you guys work to make sure the day gets through, you get through the day? Because you need that. You want to always, I tell everybody all the time, I'm good to people because I'm always praying that someone is being good to my people in the world. I have no problem sharing and caring for other people's family members. Why? Because somebody in the world is caring for mine. It's karma. It's just how we do. It's that yin and yang that you want to create for your life. And these guys, I tell you, Miss Hilda, you've been like a sister to me from afar. Every time he come in, he talks about all of y'all, what happened today, what's going down. And I'm like, okay, really? To me, it's like a story. it's like a
Definitely.
it's
We
like a
had conversations about forgiveness. A lot
yes,
of time, a lot of our conversation was more
yes,
about forgiveness,
thank you.
learning to forgive one another, learning to forgive yourself, taking accountability, facing your traumas and your truths head on.
Yep.
So, like with COVID, let's take COVID. With
Mm,
COVID, a lot of people had to be around their spouses that they've been with for a long period of time and realize they didn't know each other anymore.
exactly.
Because
That
in relationships, people forgot intimacy is not just about sex.
Sex. Thank you.
Intimacy is conversation. Intimacy is uh touches and feelings, and then doing things, acknowledging one another, being there for one another. Because I think that a lot of people take marriage in the wrong way. I always said I'm one and done. That's
Mm,
what I always said, because I'm one and done.
done. I
I,
like that.
from the time I was growing, I grew up in church, so
Uh-huh.
I, no matter what my mistakes are, I need people to understand that your past and anything that you did in your past life or in your childhood or your teenage years,
Uh-huh.
those past mistakes or those past issues, they do not define your future and they do not define your purpose.
not
So just know we went through things and it taught us how to get through them. It made us stronger. Because anything that you go through in life without struggle, you don't know how to handle, and you can't teach somebody else how to handle it.
There you go.
Although you can teach somebody, they still gonna be like, that
Until
was back in your days, like, no, okay, you're gonna realize some things is still the same,
they
just
are.
done just done differently,
It just
you
look different.
know.
they
Exactly.
It looks
really look
different.
they really look different. And one of the things you realize, and I'm glad you talked about COVID,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of look, you had to depend on people more than you really you might want to put out there, because
Mm-hmm.
it was at that time it got very close knit, because everyone had to be you had to distance yourself from people, and you had to really
You had to
get into
depend on that other
their
partner.
conversation. You really had to be involved with somebody to be close. And like you said, the people who were away from their spouses or significant others for a while, then they had to be in close proximity
For a long
on
period
a
of
regular basis because there was nowhere else to go. You couldn't hide anymore.
time.
And
And then
I say,
what
and I
happened?
say to people that in relationship, there's a love-hate relationship because you go through stages.
Oh yeah.
I love you. I hate you. I dislike you. Now, hate is a strong word, but it don't mean like I hate you. No, I might dislike and hate some of the things that you
Yeah.
do,
Right.
and it's hurtful.
Mhm.
So men and women handle things a whole lot different. We endure a whole lot, and sometimes men didn't understand it, and that was our conversation in third floor control for me
Mm.
and my brother, Mr.
Mhm.
Thomas. I had to show him the perspective or explain the perspective of
Uh,
how a woman was thinking, so that he could kind of understand more where the woman was coming from and why she was why you think she would do that. Well, why, why? Let's get to the why,
thank
and have a better understanding, you know, of
you. Right.
we don't do things just to do them, and we don't say things just to say them.
There you
We
go.
want to see, we need a reaction. Not only do y'all want to feel safe, protected, and secure, we do too.
Mm.
We want to be acknowledged and everything. It's not so much nagging because we're not trying to be your mom. We're not trying to be your mother. We're in a relationship. We're
Mm.
your help. So
That's some real talk right there. And I just want we still got to just make sure we reach out and acknowledge the people on.
Again,
We're on multiple platforms. We're doing our thing. We're on StreamYard. We're on
Clapper.
Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube.
And
We got Clapper running.
of course we're on stereo. That's what.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And Grand Rising to the guests everywhere. We appreciate you coming in and being in this beautiful third floor conversation. We here with Sister Hilda Minor. I ain't playing. I'm listening to this. I'm listening to this just going, dang, Mr. Thomas, you was exposed. Oh,
Well, look, I want to roll the wheels back just a little bit. I want to roll back.
mhm.
Now, Minor, we usually have a I'm gonna call it the breakfast social on the third floor.
Breakfast social.
Okay.
We had the breakfast social. Everybody got together, and we went to Miss Minor for Sunday morning digs. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
not only is Miss Minor looking to turn third floor conversations into a possible podcast, but
Mhm.
Miss Minor is also a caterer. And she put her foot into many of things in that building. Many of things got put.
I remember the food brought home. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Been looking for the new ones. Let me know when you're ready to start again.
So,
And it
Miss
all
Minor,
now.
just tell us a little bit about your,
Mhm. Your personal
your food endeavors and where they're going, where they're at right now.
Mm.
Right now, my food endeavors is on hold. That's on
Okay.
hold right now. Um, but my food endeavors came from my father.
Mm.
God rest his soul. That's one thing. At 9 years old, he's like, "You're gonna get in this kitchen," and it was
Oh,
like showing you how to make homemade gravy. It started out with homemade gravy, and then learning how to make rice, and learning how to make certain things. It went from eggs to this and that, and how to clean your meat and things like that. So
okay.
it became the love of cooking,
Yes,
and
indeed.
the love of cooking was more for me is sharing a meal. I've always believed feeding the people, no one goes hungry. Like you don't leave anybody hungry. So that was the thing for me, and it didn't matter. It was like, okay, you hungry, I got you. You need something, we got you.
Mm.
And so I went to school. I
Mhm.
went to school and I took tourism and hospitality. And
Nice.
tourism and hospitality included everything when I was in school. So it included managing a hotel. It included food and beverage. It included working in the kitchen, the chef, and it just included everything. So you just got to liking it, baking and pastries. So you had to do everything.
Dang.
in
Okay.
school. Okay, it wasn't just one thing. So it was like if you wanted to be a baking and pastry artist, you had that class, and you had to.
Right.
If you wanted to work at a bar, behind a bar, you had food and beverage, and you had the cost of costing. So you had to do costing of a meal and know
Yep.
what you're spending.
Mm,
So all of
Cost of
that,
use.
it was interesting. And then somehow, even with travel, it even included traveling. Like even if you wanted to be a travel agent, it's all included in tourism and hospitality. So it's
right.
food, traveling, hotel, everything.
Dang.
So it was very it was more varietized where you could kind of pick and choose where you wanted to go with it. And so starting, I can honestly tell you, maybe nobody don't know, but I did my internship at work. I
No,
had to
we
do
didn't know that.
I had to do my internship, and I thank God for the cook Murdoch,
Uh-huh.
Glenn Murdoch. He was
Shout out.
uh he was in charge, and he watched over me. Him
That-
and Tony, they worked in the kitchens, and
Yep.
we all retired now, but they
Uh-huh.
over they oversaw me with the internship, and
Oh, wow.
that's where CO Sundays kind of came about for me, and when I had to post in 13 lobby.
Yep.
Ah,
So as I was doing all of that,
uh-huh.
they gave me this nice blue apron and hair nets, and they said, "Okay, we're gonna give you these middle ovens right here, right in the mess hall,
Right.
right in the mess hall. I will have the middle ovens, and on Sundays we would have bacon, pork bacon, turkey bacon, beef sausages, pork sausages, pancakes, waffles, eggs, home fries, you name it, bagels,
Everybody else getting
orange juice, coffee, cheese biscuits,
well.
definitely the cheese biscuits, sage sausages. We would have all those different things that we would cook and everybody could eat, and everybody would be like, so how much I gotta give? I say $5. Because
That's
$5 replenishes when we need to do it again.
that's
Yep.
right.
A-
That's right. I
And
love it.
that's how it got started. It actually started with just some bagels, coffee, juice, and tea. And it
That's
just got bigger and bigger and bigger.
And everyone started
Um,
adding to the kitty. Everyone started
and I
adding.
could tell you, and every Sunday you wouldn't find nobody calling out on a Sunday, because on Sunday they would say, it's
ah,
TO Sunday. They would say, can I get a swap for Sunday? They say, no, I'm not giving up Sunday. It's TO Sunday. You can have any other day, but not Sunday, because we would all break bread together, and it was unity.
face.
Not only me, we also had Officer Barton. She been doing it all the holidays, and gotta give her flowers today, because she made sure we ate every holiday.
Every
You
oh man,
had
Martin had it. We threw down on the holidays. You wouldn't even.
absolutely everybody would bring in a dish. So if you wasn't at home for the holiday, everybody would bring a dish, and we all ate. It made you feel like you were still with family, and you still ate, and it kept you sane. You
Yeah.
like, you didn't miss out.
Begins with the extra dish that went to the job. Mr. Thomas he would cook our holiday dishes, and we would always have one dish that he had to make that he contributed so that people would eat at the job. Guys, let me share something with you. When people are in for a and I hate to say, when they're in for the long haul, they go in like family, and it makes sense. I wish to see this happen, and I want y'all to get the feeling of what they created over the years before they retired. You can do this at your job, because most people are just waiting for somebody to reach out and say something like, how's things really going with you?
Mm-hmm.
How is life really treating you? What you doing about it? What's your
Right.
contribution? And actually hold you accountable, and you be held accountable. Can you imagine these third floor conversations, these communities that y'all built? This was a culture you all built. Y'all know that, right?
Yes.
We was talking about COVID and y'all people coming home. Do you know what the problem was? The problem with COVID is that you spent most of your time building a culture your spouse didn't live in. And so
Mm.
you finally got to go home and realize you needed to build a culture at home that was
Correct.
just as connected as work, if not more. And I'm
Very true. Very true.
like, wow, I get why So many people. I get why the divorce rate went up after COVID. It's like I want to go back to work. I need to get back to my real
It,
world.
even with the kids, people was they didn't want they had to know their kids, and some people honestly just didn't want to accept the fact your kids from the time they're in
Yeah.
your stomach, So while you sitting there sending them to the schools, and always remember that you are the first teacher for your children.
Thank you.
A lot of
You are
times
the first teacher.
Take on their responsibility again, and
kids were kids
yeah,
were a responsibility that most people didn't see. They shipped off to school, they got shipped off to daycare.
we all spend
You
most
were the paycheck that managed it all, and you were like, I'm good. If I gotta go to school, there's gonna be a problem because then you're cutting into the money that I need to make sure that everything's done.
yeah, that was
Okay.
my father was like, wow,
So
And that was the reality because with COVID, the reality and I even faced it. I realized, wait a minute. I didn't know a lot of people I lived in a neighborhood and I didn't know anybody. It was like I would come in at like 1-2 o'clock in the morning, and everybody, the only person I would see is probably somebody walking, either parking their car or getting ready to go to work because they worked for sanitation. They were getting up for the 4 o'clock shift. So those are the only people I saw for almost 20 years. And now it's like I'm home now and I'm with my wife and I'm getting to know and it's funny that I say it now, but I'm getting to know who my wife is even after COVID, because all that time I was up north, and I say up north like it's a far place, but you're passing ships in the night, and all you do is meet up and you check in and you make sure everything is taken care of, or if it's not taken care of, how can we take care of it? And I learned some of this. I learned some of this on the third floor. Can you realize somebody is managing the fort when you're not there? The fort is being managed.
Uh-huh.
right.
So you can't say you don't have anybody there, even if you guys were going through something. The fort is being managed while you're gone.
That's
So
right.
you have to really acknowledge the person. And a lot of time we take for granted that we go to work and you're like, oh, I'm the breadwinner. I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. If the breadwinner has no place to call home that they can lay their head down, there's a missing there. And if you don't feel comfortable at home, why are you doing all that you're doing? And that opens up some conversations that you got to really look at, like, hey, am I building a relationship here, or I'm passing through and it's a holding pattern because I don't know what else to do?
In my opinion, most people are just managing processes. And that's the thing. You're not building a relationship is something that we forget that has to be cooperative. You got to talk to your spouse. You got to make it a personal point of doing that and stop waiting for somebody to say something first. And I think there's a lot of couples that are out there that are doing that. They're going off to the world. You can hold the conversation with anybody else, but you get home, you can't talk to your spouse. It's like, just wait for her to say something. Or you get your cup of coffee, go sit down, pick up your newspaper, read it, and you are in you mode in a family setting. We have my daughters at home right now. This is the beautiful part. I have to actually remind my daughter, you're not a boarder here. That, you know what I'm saying? She's lived outside the house and she was like, okay, we had a situation. I was like, just come back home. She's like, okay, cool. But I sometimes have to remind her, you have to speak to us in a day. And I'm like, yeah, you gotta say something, not wait till we say something to you. Good morning, welcome, or in our case, it's Grand Rising. Most people, we lose our personal inner culture. Family, when you're in a family setting, I think the kids grow up as they get older, they're like, oh, you ain't gonna tell me what to do. Well, hello, you couldn't just say hi? You don't want to talk to me at all? You want me to tell you what to do? Well, this is the thing. There's going to come a time when you're going to need some things. And you realize that either that activity that was going on without you needing to tell someone is going to end. And then you're going to wonder, well, what happened to this? What happened to that? That's the people that's the magic people, little elves at home that used to make life work.
Yes.
Husbands, sisters, brothers.
Listen, people don't understand, and this is not the old days, like, oh, you home, you the wife, you cook, clean, and had the kids. Okay, I need your participation because I'm not in this alone.
Right.
People don't seem to think a marriage is a unity. There's no more yours, mine. It's a we, us, and a ours.
Thank you, baby.
Okay, it's a we, us, and a ours.
Hey,
And
wait,
that took
that's not what you're supposed to say. Hold on. There is the left, and no. See,
Thomas,
you
you
put too
already
much
know.
expectation on me now. Hold on, I gotta no.
no.
50-50.
It's a we, a us, and a ours. Okay, which means that took communication, that took understanding, that took trust, that took respect, that took honesty, that took forgiveness.
Come
Not
on.
only for and forgiveness for others, but for yourself.
Yes.
Forgive yourself for things. I'm gonna say 2020 was a real eye opener, especially with COVID. You learned some things, and sometimes God secludes you and make you realize, like, hey, this is what it is, and you come to that realization, and you start seeing who was in your corner and who's not in your corner, and who's with you and who's for you, and you start saying, oh, wow, and I'm gonna honestly say that even in my relationship, we had to have some real honest conversations about feelings, hurts, acceptance,
That's right.
forgiveness, because there's no way we would have made it through all these years without these things. It's not about the money.
That's right.
It's not the money, because you can't take money with you when you pass away. You came in this world naked, and naked you shall leave. So listen, you can't take this stuff with you. So it's not about the money as far as when it comes down to relationship. Yes, you need money to do certain things in life, and yes, you need money to pay your bills and so forth. But
But
when it's time to go, it can't go with you. So we had
mhm,
to have some real serious sit down conversations, and we had to get to understand, some of us women, we think our husbands don't have feelings. We think our husbands don't need love. We think our husbands don't need intimacy too. And that they need to feel secure. They need to feel secure in order to come to us to speak about their feelings
come on.
without us having to belittle them and shame them for how they're feeling. A
Right.
man that cries, that's a strong man. A man that can talk about his feelings and not be judged by it, that's a strong man. A woman who can hold it down, and we're not looking at, well, I'm the breadwinner, you're the breadwinner. No, we in this together. Because as long as you're doing things separately, you cannot gain, and you cannot, achieve or move forward. You have to become one.
That's
You
right.
have to become one. God didn't say it's just yours. The way it goes is God first, man, wife, well, man, woman, and then your children. And then people also think when you get married, oh, who you gonna serve the dinner to first? You're supposed to serve your husband first, and your kids after. People don't believe that, and some people feel like that's the wrong thing to say, but that's everybody's opinion. You do what you do what you do.
Miss
But you
Health.
know what they say: when you get married, you leave your mother and father, and you cling unto your husband and your wife.
Exactly. You know
So
that a lot of that times people don't understand where that statement about who to feed first came from. Practically speaking, this is not even biblically speaking. This is practically speaking. If a husband was the breadwinner, the guy who went out and made sure that the long hours were done so that the food could come into the house when only one person had made the income, it made sense to make sure he had enough to run energy on.
Mm-hmm.
Most times, women fed themselves the least. It was the husband first because the breadwinner had to be strong enough to keep winning bread. Then you, of course, made sure you took care of yourself, but your kids, because kids got to take you. I mean, heck, a sick child makes a hard life. So therefore, you have to feed your children, and then you fed yourself. That actually made a lot of sense when it came to delivering energy to your space,
It
making
does.
sure longevity took place. It is not putting yourself, and for a lot of women, it was like, oh, we would put ourselves last. No, sweetheart. You are actually managing the energy and resources in your house
Yeah.
properly. Think about it. A sick man can't make money. Now that's on you, and you got to still take care of all of them.
Yep. And
So
what's
that's
funny,
practical.
good. What I find funny is for a very long time, most people didn't acknowledge the wife who stayed home as a uh, entity in the house. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, and I had to, and me included, I had to realize running a home is a full-time job. Because not only are you managing the people in the household, you're managing the house, you're managing the day-to-day activities,
The bills.
I'm not saying, you're going off to the Rotary Club to have cucumber sandwiches, but I'm saying you got
Like, where we get that from? Because ain't no cucumber sandwich coming to my feet.
But I'm like, you have PTA meetings, you had go to the doctor appointment.
Wait.
All that stuff.
School, doctor, every appointment, there's sports, transportation. Then I had to make sure all meals were had when they got home, clean the house, do the laundry, make sure that all the meals were done. But wait, hold up. We got to go shop at the supermarket for those things. Don't forget that you not only have to do laundry, you still have to fold it up, distribute it, and you still got to teach the kids to do it so you ain't doing it forever. Let's talk about the list.
That is a small list.
Wait. Let's go to the top of that. I ran a full-time business.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Working and taking care of home, and you're trying to be there for everybody. And in the long run, you not for nothing.
I ain't even mentioned.
Men do it too, but when women and we women, I'm going to speak on the women's behalf right now. We lose ourselves.
Yep.
We lose ourselves because we're so busy taking care of others, and we put ourselves on the back burner. Mm-hmm. I know I'm not the only one, but release time for women came in the shower, because you was in the shower. Nobody can hear you crying. Exactly. Nobody can hear you talking to God. Nobody can hear you praying. And then when your shower washed away all that anxiety and all that you was going through that day, and you got a nice steam hot shower, you dried yourself off and you oiled yourself up and you came out with a smile, and nobody never knew that you was in there releasing it all, because you really didn't feel like you had nobody to talk to, or you couldn't talk to your spouse because your spouse didn't understand. And they said, all you doing is nag. Y'all, the men, they look at us and say, oh my gosh, she's nagging again. It's not nagging. We needed you to hear us. We needed you to understand what we was going through on a daily basis. Us trying to be strong for y'all, but who was being strong for us?
Right.
And that was a part of the third floor conversation that me and my brother would have, that you have to look at both sides. You can't just say, oh, and this, and she did this. Okay, what did you do?
Right.
What did you, add into this situation? You had to look at your part as well. This not a one role. When you became one, you had to look at both sides and say, what did I do? And what can I do to improve this situation and make it better and bring the love back?
Hilda, got a question. What you're saying to me sounds much like I'm getting something right now. Now I kind of feel like I'm being spoken to. I'm being poured into, and I'm getting the healing sources. In your family, you have to ask, are you a healing source for that person? Are you where they go for healing, for help? And do you even want to be that? Because
can they trust you to come to? Can you trust to go to them? And that's what your husband needs, trust that.
But we got to ask ourselves that. And I'm not talking about us women. I'm talking about each of us in a relate. You want to be in a relationship. And well, men are this and women are that, and this is how they work. No, baby. We human first. I'm a human being. I was born human. That's the first thing I identified as before I became a sexual being on this planet. I was a human. And everything that makes me work makes you guys work. Everything inside of us is inside of you. It's all the same. So when it comes to the things we need in our relationships, are you there for their healing? Just like you need. We don't think about what we ask from people. But wait, it's your relationship, you want it. Are you there for what it takes? What it needs to keep going on? The relationship, the person.
That in itself is a conversation, because that's not on the other person, which is that's not really not on the other person. That's on you, and you have to sit with that. And I like the fact that you said, "Are you there for? Are you that healing person? Are you that person that they can go to and find solace? For lack of a better word, solace and comfort, and be willing to take it and not hold it hold it over the head when they come and say, "Well, oh, look, the other day you were here crying in my lap. So what about that?" That's the trust portion.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
something that you really
that's
got
a
to look
trust
at.
issue. Like I need to know that I can come to you with my feelings and not have it thrown back in my face.
Right.
I need to know that, if I tell you something that I can trust you with it. That's basically what it is. And a lot of time, I'm not gonna lie now, I can honestly say I've been with my husband 34 years. 34 years,
I
but
know.
married for 26.
All right.
And
Um,
it's not easy. It's definitely not an easy task. And we've been through a lot. But when I said one and done in the beginning, that's what I meant because from young, I always said if I ever get married, I don't believe in divorce. I'm not walking away because then you didn't do the work.
that's right.
Mm.
Marriage is not made for you to just say, "Hey, I's married now."
I
No, married, I's married now don't mean
Look,
okay.
I
I got
can't.
a husband. I mean, you want a title, but are you ready for that title? And it took me reading Proverbs, the book of Proverbs, which is the book of life that teaches you how to be a mother, how to be a father, how to be a wife, how to be a husband, your children, grandparenting, different finances, how to run a household. It book of Proverbs. That's why they say, are you ready to be a Proverbs 31 woman? Are
I
you ready for that?
yeah.
that
Because
that is a
it
road that many people won't take on because
well, you have to take it on because you have to face your truths. I don't want the ring, I don't want the title because all of those things are materialistic. But
Exactly.
can we work together and make this work? I don't care how hard it is. You'll find out when you get sick, you find out if your spouse is down with you because you're gonna be like, okay, I'm sick. And where you at? And are they gonna just leave you there? Is that somebody that's gonna wash you up when you can't do it for yourself? Is that somebody who's gonna stand by you when help you re-walk again if you can't walk again, or help you heal, and for you to say, you know what, wow. And a lot of people don't have that, and the people don't know if they have that. So you definitely have to go through something in a marriage. You can't just walk away and
Mm.
say, well, I'm gonna find somebody else because the grass is not always greener on the other side.
It usually is
Somebody
at all.
and somebody may not treat you the way that you was being treated, even if you're not being treated right. That's because everybody's walking on eggshells and walking around the problem instead of saying, you know what, we need to sit down and have a conversation. I don't believe in I don't believe in when you mad, you walk out. I don't mind. You want to go in another room, you can go in another room. When you want to go take you a break, take a break. But we are going to have a conversation because they always say never go to bed angry.
Right.
So now we have to sit down and talk, and some things are hurtful. And I know we all don't know how to bring it up or have
Yeah.
those conversations.
Right.
And you get,
Yeah, the hard ones, honey.
a lot
yeah,
of
and you
women,
get
a lot
hurt
of
in
we
relationships,
don't know
but you
how to
can't
talk.
hold on to it. Yeah, you
So
can't hold on to it.
I'm sorry, I don't want to cut into, but I need because we're getting up to the time. But not only that, we have some bubbles to pop. So let's listen in on what the folks in stereo have been saying. Thank you so much for the folks on Clapper Grand Rising. Welcome. Oh, we got some love on all these platforms. I love it. I love it. Let's go. Let's go. D Karma in the house.
Great Risings, Miss Rubin, the Gold Banker, and the other female voice that I hear. So, gentlemen,
Um,
I, you know, I wonder, because as a man, we do take care of things a little bit differently, but
Mm-hmm.
we can put ourselves on the back burner at times too,
Mm-hmm.
depending on how we look at gender roles, since that's a thing these days. But for a female, this is just my recent experience. Most of the time that I've noticed, you're not teaching, you're not holding these people that you're raising accountable, and
Mm-hmm.
you're always picking up behind them, picking up for them, coddling them.
Yes.
That's a problem to me.
Childhood rearing. And I've said that numerous times. But one of the things we don't realize is that we're dealing with former trauma. So I'm gonna speak to that. he was saying about how we tend to deal with things through gender roles, and it's like guys can also put themselves on the back burner. Um, yeah, and that comes from a lack of self-awareness. It's not having anything to do with your relationship. Where you are in your relationship is according to where you relate to yourself. That's the problem. We get together and start trying to relate to each other before we become people who can relate to ourselves, our
Mm.
values. You want to, oh, I love you. You're so great. I like what you got. You don't even establish you. And then you go and have children and then try to put that manic, crazy behavior of two unknown people into them.
And
And
that is manic.
upon them the things that you were missing. So most of us have entered parenthood through traumas, trying to get through trauma in the past, what we didn't have, what was not done for us, what was done to us that we never going to do, what was all of the things that most of our relationships when we with our children is a not. This is not going to happen again. Trying to avoid past stuff because we didn't deal with our past. We're not having children because we're creating a promise for the future. We're creating a possibility of change in the timeline.
In the dynamic of relationships.
Yeah, and so
Careering.
because we're not dealing with us during that time, we have children. Now we become aware. Now we got to deal with ourselves. Who deals with the kids? The kids still out there waiting for you to get it together. That's where this is why these conversations are so important, y'all. These what I say, call them come to Jesus moments, where you absolutely have to deal with you and with your being. Because Miss Hilda said nothing. And D. Karma, I thank you for putting that out there. We got one more bubble. Let me pop it real quick.
So with that particular aspect, you're running yourself ragged. And then you complain about it.
Yeah, I love it. You're running yourself ragged and complaining about it.
To be needed, but you complain about being needed because you put yourself in a position to be needed when you're not really needed because you need to feel needed.
There you go. Yeah, that selfish parenting.
So
when you make you the thing. Go ahead,
to
baby.
jump on that, I would say, later on in life, you learn about boundaries. We don't always learn the boundaries right away. When it comes down to the children, you got to understand parenting didn't come with a manual, and it didn't say how to be a parent. What we took as parenting was what we were around in the household. We watched our parents, and yes, that's when you said, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to do that with my children, and I don't want to do. But you find out later on in life, you do exactly what your parents do.
Exactly.
You do just that. You say, I'm not going to whip my kids, and then you spare the rod that spoiled the child. So you know what I'm saying? So we can say that, but we do learn as we go.
Right.
And in the environment that we work in, Mr. Thomas, the environment we work in, we know that even with those individuals, they were like our children. They didn't come they had well, I don't know about now, but they had respect for you because it was, hey, Papa Thomas, hey, Mama Minor, hey, Miss M, or hey, Mr. T.
Right.
And it wasn't just that, it was being honest with them and not coddling them. It was being truthful and some truth that they didn't really hear in a household. You are not your parent. You are not who people say you are. Okay. I find that a lot of them be like, oh, my mother was a drug addict or my father was an alcoholic and I grew up in an abusive household, but that does not define who you are.
Exactly.
So,
and you're not there anymore.
And you're not there anymore. And when you become 18 now, you become accountable for the choices that you make. And you have to, and you accept that you can't blame mom and dad anymore.
Right.
Okay. But the one thing I always did for the individuals who I felt was going home and things like that, I would put together a homework packet.
Right.
So when someone says, who are you? A lot of us don't even know who we are. Because
Amen.
we, not the title, Oh, I'm a mom.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm a grandmother. Oh, I'm a sister, or I'm a wife. That those are titles for other people. Those are titles that you do for other people. Who are you for
Mhm.
you and to you? And so when I give them the homework would be, what do you like or dislike about yourself? Where do you see yourself in 2 years, short term, 5 years, long term? Are you able to forgive those who told you wasn't going to amount to anything? That, oh, nobody's going to love you but me. You got to understand that. Can you forgive the ones who abused you mentally, verbally, emotionally, physically? Because you got to remember, physically abuse you can heal from. Those scars are healed. But when somebody emotionally, mentally, and verbally abuse you, that's hard to come back from.
Right. Right.
So those are the things you had to do. You had to say, hey, can I forgive the person who might have, lied on me, talked
Mhm.
about me, molested me, or raped me, or sexually assaulted me, told me I wasn't gonna be nothing, and
Mhm.
and and so forth. Oh, you ugly, stand in your truth. And then you had to face your childhood traumas. You had to understand what your triggers was, what triggered you to behave a certain way or to act a certain way. So this way, you start to heal yourself and stop looking to others to heal you, because you got
Mhm.
to remember, you are your happy. Nobody else can make you happy. So don't
Right.
say, well,
That's
I'm not happy because he doesn't make me happy. He's not supposed to make you
supposed
happy.
to.
She's
Exactly.
not supposed to make you happy. You're
You are the
supposed to make
Indeed,
source.
yourself
indeed.
happy.
That's right.
Make yourself happy, and then y'all bring that happy together. And now you work it out from there. Like, I don't expect you to do everything I want to do, and you shouldn't expect me to do everything you want to do. But we can do some things, and you got to remember, when I said there's communication, understanding, trust, respect, honesty, there's also compromise. You
That's
have to
right.
compromise, because we can agree to disagree. We
Yes,
can
we
agree to disagree. So when it come down to children, it can't be. We know children manipulate all the
yes.
time, so it can't be. I'm gonna ask mom because dad
Uh,
said no. I'm
uh,
gonna ask dad because mom said no. What should be happening is
they already
mom should say, "Did you?" Mom should
know
say, "Did you ask your father already?
what your
And
father.
what did your father say? And did you ask mom already? And what did mom say?"
Look,
You're
been
trying to
there,
play
done
us
that one.
against each other. Yeah, you're playing us against each other.
Because
So,
they see how y'all are.
right. And they
They
say, well, one's a yes and one's a no, and this and that. You shouldn't argue. You shouldn't talk bad about the other parent. That's for the child to form their own opinions and things. You teach them independence so that they can go on and do things that they need to do.
yes,
But when you at work 16 hours, 12 hours, even 8 hours, and mom is home and she's taking all this on, so, it's like, oh, dad is just in yes mode, or dad is home and mom is working. Then mom is just in the yes mode. It's
exactly.
because we get that guilt feeling of saying we not there. So you know what? All right, yeah, baby, go
And go
ahead.
ahead, do that.
And it's not supposed to be that way. You supposed to say, hey, honey, well, what happened? Did you say it was okay for such and such and such? Because now you stop the manipulation. And
That's
you
right.
now the kids have to learn to respect the parents and the decisions, and we have to learn to respect our kids as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, children ought to be respected as well, and the Bible teaches you that too. You're not supposed to
Treat your
I
children.
I can't, right, you're not supposed to I can't even think of the right word, but you don't annihilate them.
Exactly.
You're not
Exactly.
supposed to.
Right.
You're supposed to teach them. That's what he gave you the children so that you can teach them,
Learn
as
them up.
and things like that. So I
So
understand these days parents are acting like they're afraid to do what they need to do as a parent, and now the government takes over, because you got to remember the government comes in and says, "Oh, we own the children."
yes. Now
So
that's a
if you don't go,
you
that's a
gotta
whole nother topic.
slow
But
you
I'm
down.
just saying,
Yeah, let's
yes,
not go
that's
down that
a
road.
Ooh, Lord,
yes,
that's a
that's
whole
another topic.
I love talking about that to help people
But
on the right.
you have to understand that when you have these children, you have to be honest with
With
them. You
you
have to
got
be honest with them and make them accountable and have them learn.
that's right.
And parents are not doing that. You're afraid. They're afraid now because of certain things. So I get what you're saying. I get
Yeah,
what you're saying.
yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna be honest. I get what he's saying as well. We discovered this on the road. This is not
Mm-hmm.
something that you take on right out the bat. This, if this has never been something, and this is what we have to recognize. These are generate. This is all being passed down through generations. And as we get older, we are supposed to get wiser and stronger, faster as well. And I'm loving
Right.
that we're here to have these conversations. So maybe there's a young parent out wondering, oh, my kid is wilding out. That's because you are allowing wilding out as a state of being. Wilding out is allowed. In my household, there was no allowance for that nonsense. There was, look, there's a lot of allowances nowadays that these young people get that I didn't even heard when I was coming up. But you have to take responsibility. First, find out where that comes from. Where
Yep.
you not really your kid. We want the best for them, but you don't want them to struggle. And that doesn't make any sense because what made you so strong and resilient was your struggle. You have to give them a chance to be the human beings and determine or discover the human beings that they can be. You
There's
know,
no harm in falling down, just not getting up.
yeah, and
Right.
most of them, and I think that's what he was speaking to, where most of the young people out here living in their parents' house, and this, I said, well, yeah, depending on how you're living there, and that's why I said I had to share with my daughter because it was like she went out, and when she came back, she forgot how we do things. This is a family unit, and we do things together. And your say and how you want to see things is important to me. So it's kind of she's always been kind of to herself. I said, well, tell me about what we could do here to make this more of a home where you want to come outside your room and you want to spend some time in this space because you don't live in a room, you live in a house, an apartment. For her, you live in a family house, and so it didn't dawn on me that that was going on for a while. Because I'm a parent, I have to stay aware too because I'm also an individual. Y'all get that? Parent doesn't become you don't become the parent robot. All of a sudden, parent, 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 parent. You're a human being. You're just like when you were in a relationship. I was Al's wife, but that wasn't wife, 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 wife. I'm a human being, which is what we each have to start observing each other as. My daughter is not daughter, 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 daughter either. I had to observe that's a young woman.
That's a person.
That's a whole person with a personality, and there's some things going on. And I'm inviting her constantly to our family. See, that's love. It's always chosen daily. It's not, you don't just get it because they related. You actually have to participate in it. And I
And
think
want
that's
to.
what's been going on. So I hate to say it, we are at the top of the hour. Oh God.
Oh wow.
Yes, I love you, Sister Hilda. Please, please, please. No, we are going to have you back on. I can't wait till you get your catering back up. Girl, if you even just cook, let me know. All right. Because we'll work
Okay.
it
I'll
out.
definitely let you know.
I'll hook your sister up. No
I'll
problem.
take my buffalo chicken right now. Don't worry about it.
True. Let us sister know when you work in that kitchen again, because this sister really does her thing. And y'all look out for Hilda's kitchen because
Yes,
it's coming back. She just has, I know when you retire, you have a lot of responsibilities. And I realized as I was asking her, so what you gonna do? We ready? She was like, hold on a second. Let me get out of one thing good before I start jumping back into stuff. I said, I got you. I got you. And trust me, I got your back. Know that, and we just got to talk about it. We bring it right back to financial literacy. Know that I'm always looking for a good investment. And I invest in people because I believe that that's how the market, I know that's how the markets are made. So with that, I know some good people doing some great things. And we're teaching folks to find ways to build into their to build into their community. We're teaching y'all how to come back home and start those dollars flowing from within and build up strong values. But you got to learn that at home. So we welcome you and we introduce you to our digital financial literacy course. We want you guys to come in and learn how things work and how to work them effectively. So you guys get to join us. Go to p2gnetworks.com and check out what's coming for the next iteration. We have a 12-week program to really learn how to get your hands all in it. And not only that, but start making money. I mean, my students are extremely excited because it's the first time they've been in a place where they understand what is going on. They're actually seeing financial changes take place. They're working with real money. You know what I'm saying? Or I should say real assets in crypto. And they now know what the hell they're doing. But
yes,
they're
indeed.
also,
Yes, indeed.
I mean, they got projects and everything. And in this case, we're coming to the last of the first 12-week cohort. and we want to invite you to our metaverse graduation party. It's an all-day event, well, pretty much 4 hours on a Saturday, and you can hop in through your phone, all your devices, your phone, your computer, your tablets. Y'all have tablets and iPads? Yeah, you do. But you can get on to, and even with your goggles and your headphones, I just realized we have those now, Al, right?
Yes.
So you can get into this virtual space and really get to see what our students have created, discovered, and now have actually allowed themselves to create their very own financial products.
Sure, you can even go into the metaverse with, if you got those, what do you call those glasses, the VR glasses?
That's what we're talking about, the VR glasses. So yeah, I'm like, guys, you are welcome to come. We will send you your invitation. It'll be up, and all you got to do is click a button on P2G. It is available for everyone. Be ready on the 4th of April. The 4th of April. Save the date on the calendar. We coming out. We're going to be rocking out for like 4 hours on that day. If no matter where you are in the world, you can join us too. And we love you so much. We thank you for being on with us, Miss Hilda. Oh my God. You better be back on. I mean it, Miss Lady.
No.
We gonna
Okay.
We gonna check your tech. That's it.
Yes, we gonna do that. We're gonna make sure your tech is straight. But I'm hoping that the next conversation we'll be talking about your signature recipe and how the business is going. I really do. Because
so I'm gonna leave. I want to leave everybody with this title: accountability and responsibility.
Okay.
Okay, third floor conversation coming back.
Come on. I guess we are. Accountability and responsibility. Welcome to the new podcast. We got you. Love it, love it, love it. Peace and love, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us on all platforms.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Let's do it. We about to rock out. Y'all enjoy the song. And if you got a business and want to be interviewed on this platform, get on Breakfast with the Thomases or get to the P2G networks and let us know. We'll bring you in on a Wednesday. Peace.
Ooh, see you. Wake up and rise, open your eyes. It's Breakfast with the Thomases, the ultimate prize. Mental Wellness Monday, work it out Wednesday. Okay, pay it forward Friday. We're seizing the day. Digital finance, unlearning of love, serving food for what those two rising at the beat and it Eastern on P2G TV. Breakfast with the Thomases.